So our client came to us from a referral from a broker in our industry that was looking for a furniture solution that was a good design, on time and on budget. One of the biggest challenges that we were facing is that we were within a spec suite, so we had limited options as far as things that we could move and change about the space. So ultimately, while working with this client, SourceFloor was able to give them real-time design work. So what that means is we took their CAD file and we built it out in our program called CET. And CET allows us to drop in furniture with all the parts and pieces associated with it. We're then able to apply finishes to those pieces of furniture while also giving them real budget numbers as changes are made. Ultimately, this is what the client was looking at with us before we pressed order. Here in the entryway, one of our design challenges was that they had this built-in banquette, and when we originally got there, it was in this faux olive leather that did not match their aesthetic. So we ended up ordering Chimera fabric and replacing it in sort of a gradient, which gave the space a really interesting design element. We were then able to custom match the pillows that we put in this area to the fabrics that we had the banquette reupholstered in. Next, we come in here to the boardroom, and it was really important to the client that it was executed well because they host a lot of investor meetings in this space. So we did this big, beautiful intermix table from OFS with pier chairs that had matte black hardware and were upholstered in leather. We actually used overheads as a floating credenza, which is a fun twist that we did instead of a traditional media wall at the front. Then we were able to add a serving credenza to the back wall, which means that they have little trays that will pull out here for when you're serving catering in this room. So next we hop on over here to the break area. We did leather here, wool here, and made this really nice lounge and eating area. Then we started to add in some biophilic elements like putting intermix planters along here, so it also gives it some privacy from the workstation area, since as you can see there's no built-in wall or anything to divide the space. Then we come over here to the workstations. They wanted to make sure that they didn't have a traditional workstation look, but also had something that people were going to feel drawn to and were going to want to work at. So we used the Stax panel system, we did a pull-out storage tower, and then we gave them a little screen here to add some modesty, which we put in a blue color as a little nod to their branding colors. We put shelves here and convenient power units for them. They then have these cute little cubbies that are yin-yang so that somebody on each side gets them, and then it gives another little area to accessorize on top. So we did 2 bays of these workstations with also a future plan of being able to add in a little bit of ancillary seating in this area. Over here, these are the CFO and CEO's private offices, so they have kind of a different mixture of product. Their offices were unique because they were corner units, and so they both have a great view of Union Station out of their windows, which we wanted to emphasize in the design. This client came from WeWork, and one of the features that they loved about their WeWork space was private phone booths. So we were able to place these chat boxes over in this area as well, giving another version of privacy and a place to have a private meeting. Along this wall is all the private offices, and we made all 4 of them uniform, so that way any executive visiting the office would feel welcome and they would provide the same function for anybody using them. One of the design challenges about these offices facing the open workspace is that you don't want to have someone looking out of the windows directly into the eyes of someone working in the workstations since they're facing each other. So we had the client invest in final filming across these offices so that there was some visual privacy from what was going on in the private offices to what was going on out in the workspace. Then within these offices, they had pretty ample storage, which was important to the client. We did monitor arms here, they have pier chairs here, and then these sink chairs were really fun because this fabric that we used was Angular and their brand colors, so it was another way to subtly add branding to their space. I think one of the big successes of working with this client was giving them an office that makes it really easy for them to attract and retain talent in the Denver market. The client was merging employees from all different cities and trying to really bring them all together into this space. I think that we've successfully achieved that in their office design and gave them a beautiful space that people enjoy coming to work in.